Everyone, Kareem Rae here, and today I have Dennis Thompson on with us. Hey, Dennis, how's it going?
All good, my guy. Thanks for having me, Kareem.
Thanks for joining us today. Can you please introduce yourself to the viewers?
Hi, guys. I'm Dennis Thompson, former professional soccer player, currently professional freestyler. So nice to chat with you guys.
Absolutely. So, Dennis, can you take us back in time and tell us a little bit about where soccer all started for you?
Well, do you have time? Well, it all started for me back when I was living in Jamaica at the age, I would say age 11. You know, I think that was 98 World Cup when Jamaica went. You know, it was amazing. That's where it all started for me. Like, I love playing the game from the day I was born, because all we had was street ball in Jamaica, right? But 98 World Cup is where it all started for me. I would say definitely the whole country was on fire. Jamaica was in the World Cup for the first every time, you know, and it's just, man, nothing else was on TV. Not even my cartoons.
Football.
Just football, man.
And who would you grow up watching? Were you watching the BPL or Jamaican soccer? What were you watching?
Do you know what? Back in my time, we didn't have that much soccer on TV. You know, we didn't have the channel to watch soccer on TV. But in my neighborhood, we have a team called Brownstown, and that was the team I followed pretty much. Like going there and watching that team play, like the games and stuff like that, paying in. You know, whether it's we pay to go watch the game or we're hopping the fence to go watch, or we're watching over the fence. So that was the only time I really got to watch like soccer on TV, and maybe the highlights from the news, you know, from the EPL and stuff like that.
Absolutely. And you did mention that you got introduced to playing football on the street first, or was it organized football?
Street soccer first, bare feet, you know, losing toenails, you name it.
And do you think street football helped you to get where you are today, or?
I would say it was the base, because it's the start, right? There's no rules. You know, you make up your rules as you go. Even when the rules set that we say, okay, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that. As you play, one guy's gonna say, no, I didn't say that. That's not the rule. So you know, then it's crazy, man. It's crazy. There's no rules to street soccer, and you can just openly and play, have fun. You know, you get hurt, you bounce right back. So that's where it was a foundation for me, and I can definitely say it did help at some point, you know, with confidence, actually, at least, you know what I'm saying? Because playing out there in the streets, you're playing with all different age group. There's no set age group. We're playing with men and kids, 5-year-olds coming on to play. It's just whoever wants to play at that time.
Absolutely. And from the time before when you started to play over there and to now, is there more programs in Jamaica that are there, football-wise?
I would say 100%. Definitely, there's a lot more programs that's running right now. I did in 2020. I went back to Jamaica to do a charity game, and when I got there was so much going on for kids that I never had. Right? I never had that growing up. We just had a few teams that, you know, that's around the area, and some that's out of the area. So that's all we had. So, but we didn't have like a lot of programs that was happening around my time when I was living in Jamaica. But now, 100%, there's a lot of stuff going on, and I'm really happy to see it.
Absolutely, that's amazing. So we're gonna move on to the second question. Where do you originate from, and what passports do you hold?
I am originally from Jamaica, Kingston, Jamaica. I don't have my Jamaican passport anymore, but I have the Canadian passport, you know, so.
Wait, why? How come you don't have the Jamaican passport no more?
We didn't do the dueling. I didn't even think of it, to tell you the truth. I didn't think of having a duel, you know, so I just I pretty much went like this with my Jamaican passport, whoop, and have the Canadian passport now. You know.
Good. The reason I usually ask that question is because to have an understanding of whether it'd be easy for players to get into Europe or not. Because I know having a European passport, it gives you a little bit more leverage when you get to Europe from Canada, if you do want to play professionally over there. So I have an understanding of like what passport you hold when I ask that question. That's usually why I ask that one.
No, and it's true. That's so true. Like, you know, I never got a chance to go play in Europe, but I played in Central America, and at that time I had my Jamaican passport. You know, so it wasn't even a problem at all. You know, but the more and more now, like even back then, like they were still pushing for, you know, if you're gonna come and play in Europe, they want you to have a European passport. It's more so because of work permits.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah.
It's an interesting thing because growing up, I never knew any of this, right? And then eventually, you know, wanting the desire to play in Europe and then figuring out the avenues of how to go about things in the professional world, it never crossed my mind, right? I was never aware of it until things started to open up. So, yeah, again, that's the reason why I ask. And then the other thing is exactly what you're saying: work permits, visas, so on and so forth.
Yeah, I told you. If you have the passport, it's a lot easier for you to stay longer. You know, if you don't have the passport, you know, they only give you a certain amount of time, and the visa, you know, gets a little crazy to get at time along with the work permit, right? So for me, when I went to Central America in Nicaragua, like, you know, it was a lot easier because over there it's not as strict as Europe, you know. For now, but now I'm seeing a lot of youth from like age like 10, 11. Their parents that's from Italy, England, Holland, you know, you name it. They're getting them the dual citizenship, like the Canadians / wherever else their ancestors are from. And it's smart to get it then, because then it's a lot easier to move through, you know, as you get older and you want to move to that level.
Exactly. Something I'll add in is actually, because I've had visa problems, like with England, I lost the opportunity. I was down there for 6 weeks. I lost the opportunity with that Reading FC 2019. I was in France for 3 months. I came back with the intention to get the visa, but you're 19, your mind's all over the place. Missed my opportunity because it's a time, you know, preseason starts at a certain time and I was supposed to get my visa, but, you know, so on and so forth happened. And then what happened? Yeah, I didn't get my visa in time because visas do take time to apply for. And
yes.
It's not an easy process being 19 and navigating through it. Plus, not knowing that you have, you know, you're able to work with an immigration lawyer to help you through that process. I wasn't aware of that. And then 2021, I was telling you when we were talking, that I was in Naples. A cool situation where my coach from Naples, Matthew Poland, was moving to Chicago. And it's a NISA. Have you heard of the NISA in the United States? The NISA League. It's Division 3 in the pyramid.
No, I've never heard of it, to tell you the truth.
So a unique situation, he moved up to Chicago, and it's a professional division. It's the 3rd division in the United States soccer pyramid. And basically, he was giving me the opportunity to come and showcase myself over there. But they're only taking players that had the U.S. passport or the green card, right? So coming across these situations three times, I said, all right, this is a problem. That I'm not the only player. Sorry,
but that's crazy because we're next door to them.
Right.
And they're giving you a hard time.
Yeah.
That's just crazy.
I mean, absolutely. If the club wants you, if you're good enough, they'll take you. They'll do whatever it takes, right?
They do whatever it takes.
Right. So when I came across that problem, and I'm like, there's more players having this problem, of course. And I've done a little bit of a survey. So I'm starting to work with immigration lawyers. I just wanted to add this in here. So I'm working with immigration lawyers now to help with the visa process for players. So I just wanted to add that in there.
Yeah, the amazing stuff that the last time we spoke, man, the stuff that I hear that you're talking, man, like you are on another level, man. So, you know, it's amazing what you're doing for yourself, especially as a young man, as a young athlete. You know what I'm saying? It's great to see.
Thank you. And as you were saying, you know, you wish back in Jamaica there was more programs, right? Like,
yeah,
right. It's very important for these things to be in place. So the next question, why do you play football?
Why do I play football? well, again, going back to like Jamaica, all we had was football. We also played cricket, only when cricket when it's cricket season, but right through the year, it's all football. Like there's nothing else but football. Like we have like I was fortunate to have some console like Game Boys and all that kind of stuff. But when the battery's dead, I'm out. I had to put my batteries in the sun to charge. I don't know if you even know about all that. That's like old school style, trying to charge your battery. And then I'm out playing soccer, like midday, right throughout till night. My mom was calling me, hey, come in to have dinner. So football was all there was. You know what I'm saying? That's all we had. So it was so easy. It was such an easy thing to get into.
Right, and Jamaica's nice and hot, right? So it doesn't
Nice and
start
hot.
quick, and the weather.
Whether it's rain, whether we play in the rain, like pouring rain or blazing hot, right? So it's a beautiful country. It's a tropical. So you play right through the year.
So, what teams did you play for? Non-professional. Well, actually, professionally for.
I played for Dilian FC in Nicaragua. I played semi-pro here for North York Astros. I think they're still around. In Jamaica, before all that, I was playing for a youth team called. Well, I didn't actually get to finish playing because by the time I started with them and everything, I was taking off to come here, right? Because they only had a team of you can only be 13 or 14 to get onto the team. That's it. That's the age because there's nothing younger, right? So, and by that time, I was on my way to Canada.
Understood.
Right. So that team was called Brownstown, and then the rest of it was just like, like recreation soccer that, just being a part of.
Right. And when you were playing professionally, what position did you play?
Striker.
And how do you train for that position? Do you have any tips for that? Can you share 3 tips with players that play striker?
I would say knowing your area, checking your shoulders. One, for the defender that's beside that's trying to mark you, always try to lose your defender. I see players sometimes posted up on their defenders. Not my kind of game. Some players do. And when I see a striker do that, it tells me that they either don't know what they're doing or they're playing like a pivot. I pass, like the player passed the ball to me and I hold up, roll it off, or I roll off the player, whichever way. So for me as a striker, I was always a striker that I can see you from the side and I can see my player passing me the ball. You know what I mean? So, but there's different ways of playing striker. There's strikers that likes to overlap their mid, and run the flank and cut in. There's so many different ways. It's all about the system of your team, and if your coach understand how to work with you, if you're not fast, if you got great skill, all of that, right? So I would say it all depends on your team structure and their tactics of what they want to do, and you yourself as an individual player, you got to figure that out as you play the game and ask questions if you feel lost or anything.
Right. So how did you become a professional footballer?
I was lucky. I was lucky. As I was saying to you the day on Saturday when we met, I was lucky. Like I played in a rec league, which this rec league was pretty high level because we had like ex-pros that come and play in it and stuff like that. And the owner of the league, he's like one of the scouts for the team in Nicaragua in their area called Didiamba. So I guess they were looking for a striker, and I was the one that came across his mind, and he was trying to find me, couldn't figure out how to get a hold of me, and I went to school with his daughter. And so he's like, actually, yeah, let me get to my daughter, get Dennis's contact. I got a phone call. I didn't even remember who he was. And then he was explaining himself. And then I was like, oh, okay. What's up? And he's like, I have an opportunity for you if you want it, for you to play professional soccer. And I was blown away because I already kind of gave up the my dream of playing professional at age 20. That's when I got my first time to go play professional soccer. So if you're watching this, guys, do not give up. It can happen at any time. Just be positive, train hard, understand what you got to do. Try to stay injury free, because that will less your chance of doing anything that you want. But yeah, this guy gave me his name's called Ricardo. Ricardo Vega. He gave me the opportunity. He called me up and said, "Hey, I have this opportunity. If you want it, it's all yours. I know what you can do, Dennis. You're an amazing player, also an amazing person as well. So I know, giving you this opportunity, you'll make the best of it." And I did.
Right. And, it's not just about being an amazing player as you were, but it's also about being a good person off the field as well, right?
Totally.
How important is that to not be only good on the field, but a good person as well off the field?
Because off the field, if you can be an amazing, you don't have to be super friendly. Hey guys, but no, but be yourself and appreciate everyone that's around you, because at any time anything can happen and someone can vouch for you. You're not doing that just because of that, but just genuinely try your best to be a good human being to everyone that's around you, because there's opportunities in all different angles. Sometimes when you don't even expect it, right? So that's where being a good person comes into play.
Absolutely. And I've learned that there's not one way to go about it. I remember growing up, well, for me, I thought there was only one way to go pro, but after doing all these different interviews, there's multiple different scenarios and different ways to
So
become
many.
a professional footballer. With saying that, what changed after you signed for you in your
What
experience?
changed?
Yeah, in your life.
Nothing really changed. I just started working. The only thing I would say changed, I started working a lot harder.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? I got the opportunity. I was never a lazy player, but because I have the skill and everything, I was a bit more, relaxed. Not that I wasn't relaxed once I got this, but I was a bit more focused. I know what I had to do, especially to get myself on the game sheet playing, whether it's starting or coming off the bench. I had to be focused. I had to be ready. You know what I mean?
Right. And what about, mentally, right? Because before 20, you said you kind of, almost gave up the dream, and then, you got this call and things changed around very quickly. And then you signed pro. So, what changed for you mentally in that experience, in your mind?
That it's never too late.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? It's never too late. I got an opportunity, and I make the best of it. And for all the younger players that are coming up, mentally, like before I got the contract and everything, I wasn't down. I pretty much accept that, my chances getting very slim, but then I got the call, and then it boosts my myself again. I got motivated a bit more. Like as I said, I didn't drop the ball and don't even play soccer anymore because I wasn't playing professional, but I was still playing. But I kind of set myself already that that dream is it's not going to happen. So whatever happens, happen. And I got this call, and as I said, it built me up again, and I took the opportunity.
Yeah. Talk to us about once you got in this professional position, you're a professional, other players around you are professional. What's the mentality of a professional footballer, and then, you had to fight for your position, right? It wasn't given to you. Talk a little bit about that. How'd you go about, getting your starting position? How did players treat you? Were were you guys speaking the same language, obviously football wise, but I know you learned Spanish over there, but, talk a little bit about that stuff.
So that being said, being in that professional atmosphere, it's crazy. Some some players respect you. Some players, it's not that they don't respect you, but you're coming in from a foreign country trying to take their place. even though the club reached out and got you on the team and stuff like that, they're fighting for their position. I was fighting for my starting or whatever coming off the bench. Each week that we play the game. So like it was tough. Like I had players, saying, "Oh, the Canadian guy, da 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 da," and I didn't really understand them at first, right? Because they're speaking Spanish, and I barely knew any Spanish. So everybody, and then they were laughing. They'll invite me to come over to do some fun drills with them, and they had me looking like an idiot in the middle or whatever else, right? So but I was learning as I was going. I wasn't just naive going in there like, oh my God, like, these guys are disrespecting me. As I was learning, as they were doing that, I learned that, that they were trying to get me out, but I stayed focused. I realized what they were doing and didn't lash back at them. You know what I'm saying? That people lash. It's easy for people to, oh, what do you think you're doing? Throwing fists. I smiled, just be myself. And as they think that they were disrespecting me, when my turn come and flipped, I showed them that I understood what they were doing, and because I had the skill and everything to cover my areas, it was harder for them to do it all the time. Once I got the hang of it, it was pretty easy for me to catch on, and then after a while they realized my talent of what I can bring bring for the team, right? Because they do that sometimes just to see what you're about. Is this guy coming in just to come take our place and take our money? This is all we have out here. So, they after when they realized what I got to offer to the team, they started bringing me in on a different way and showing me around, showing me this, and start teaching me how to speak Spanish. Say, how they always do. They teach you the bad words at first, right? So, right. So they taught me some of the bad words. And as I go, they start to show me, and then the love starts to build. You know what I'm saying? There's on and off, like miscommunication, and they get upset because we all want to win, right? So, the passion is there, and, the intensity. So sometimes they're like, Dennis, let's go, vamos. And I'm like, okay, let's go. Blah, 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 blah. But it was tough. It was super, super hard at first trying to get in with the guys. I was okay with the coach, but with the team, as I said, it was a few players that was like, giving me a rough time, but I understood what it was. You know what I'm saying? Again, a foreigner coming in, they had to let them know what's up. And if you're strong enough to hold it out while they do what they had to do, initiation, right? I stuck it out and I did what I had to do, and they respect me after a while on that football level.
Yeah. Dennis, sorry, I know we're a little bit over time. I know you said you put away 40 minutes. Can we go for the 40?
No worries. We can talk, man.
Okay. Sorry about that.
No worries.
I know how you feel. I experienced the same thing in Naples. Most of 90% of the players were from Mexico. They spoke Spanish, so on and so forth. So I know how that feels. But how long did it take you to learn Spanish, though?
It took me about 3-4 months. Because I was on it. I was on it like this. I was writing stuff down and all of that. But while I was writing stuff down, I realized English and Spanish, it's like a flip. So it's not, if you see Blue Cross, I was writing, Azul Cruz. It's Cruz Azul, like it's cross blue. You know what I'm saying? So it's on a flip side. So writing it, and when I hear them talking, I'm like, that doesn't make sense, right?
Yes.
It doesn't make sense. So that was a fun challenge, learning the language, and after about, I would say about 5 months in, I was sending texts with jokes with some of the guys or with some of the whomever I know in the neighborhood and stuff like that. And I was speaking, and I was understanding the jokes and all that stuff. And a guy that's actually from here as well, Joshua Lemos, was our goalkeeper. He stopped me and he goes, "Hey, Dennis, are you listening to yourself? You're speaking so fluently now. Like, that's crazy." And I didn't even notice, because when you're in the atmosphere, you don't even realize how much you're learning as you go.
True.
Right? Especially if you apply yourself enough. If you tell yourself, "I'll never learn this," you're gonna be behind.
Right. What I've learned is being in the atmosphere of a culture and their language, you pick it up faster than just being here in Canada and learning a language per se. I think.
Oh,
Yeah.
totally different.
What sacrifices have you and your family made for football?
When I got the call, I looked at my dad because I had a job, and it was me and my sibling. We had a house together. And as I said, I was 20 years old. I looked at my dad, and my dad said, "This is your chance. You got to take this chance. Don't worry about, the mortgage. I'll take up your half. That you can go pursue your dreams." So that was a huge sacrifice. You know what I'm saying? And there wasn't a lot of money like to get paid while I was there. So he was like, "Don't worry about money. If you need any money at all, and if I can support you, I'll be there for you." So that was a big hit, and also like an amazing, sacrifice for my family.
That is very huge. Um, so going through that process, you got that support from your family, which is amazing. You got the call. Did you have an agent to assist you with the process, or
The same guy, Ricardo. He's the one that helped me with everything, anything that I needed. So he really stuck it out with me, and he bought my ticket and everything. I didn't pay for anything at all. Like as I said, I was a lucky guy. I was in the right place at the right time. You know what I'm saying? Being who I am, I'm saying? Be yourself, be genuine, be nice, because good things come from it. And not just do it because you're expecting good things, but just genuinely be yourself and be nice with everyone around you in your community.
right? Yeah, that's huge. That's something I gotta. I learned from the last time we spoke. You opened an eye for me, huge eye for me. So I really appreciate that again.
That's
Um,
what it's about, man.
so where has soccer led you now? I keep saying
But
football. Where has football led you now?
football, well, we live in North America, so it's all soccer, soccer, soccer.
Right,
As
I
you
know.
as you hear now, sometimes even in the English league, that they start saying soccer. I'm like, guys, don't do that. Don't do it. No, change, keep it as football, please.
Right.
You know, being a Jamaican, that's what we know. It's football. We didn't say soccer. And now I go back to Jamaica, everybody's saying soccer. Guys, don't. Please keep the football. And
Know
if you
what it
listen to
is.
Spanish, even the Spanish commentators, they go, soccer. Bro, no, no, no. Don't do it. Everybody's changing over into this soccer thing. And it's not bad, but I think, let's keep it football.
Mm.
Uh, but football have led me so many places. Like after I retired from playing professional soccer, I became more so involved with the freestyle and soccer tricks and all that stuff. So on the entertaining side, you know.
Mm.
So using the ball, like always, I've always had a love for the ball. So I I love any and every way that I get a chance to kick a football. Foot golf, beach soccer, soccer tennis, whatever I can get myself in playing the game of football, having that ball at my feet, it have taken me so many places. I competed for Canada in the Francophone Games in Ivory Coast in the freestyle stuff. Um, I've done some coaching. I went to Spain. Uh, I've played in Ecuador. So many places. I've traveled the whole United States on tour with huge companies. Doing the freestyle, performing it in front of 80,000 people. When I just started, I was like, this is impossible. I would never be able to do that. But as I go and I was learning and I was getting a lot of feedback from everyone that's around me saying, Dennis, you're amazing with the ball. You're doing such a great job, whether it's your community or elsewhere. So that just boosts my myself again on that football level. And I just embraced it and just keep going at it. So football itself have done a lot for me, and I'm grateful to not just, one person, but like everyone that's around me that have given me the opportunity to prove myself.
Right. You did a lot in freestyling. What tips would you have for people that want to freestyle? Because I've watched a couple of videos with you doing freestyle videos, and you're like one with the ball, right? So like, what tips would you give to players that want to up their freestyling skills?
I would say understand the ball at first.
Mm-hmm.
Before you start to do any kind of freestyle, understand the ball and love the ball. Like I see people, they take the ball and they're like, I want to learn around the world. They're going and they're going and they're going. And people say repetition is key, but there's also bad repetition. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you can't repeat the same thing, the same bad habits over and over. And you'll not learn. If you don't stop and realize what are the key points of getting this actual skill down, you'll 10 years later, you'll still be doing the same thing. I have kids that I've taught what nobody taught me when I was much younger. It took me 6 months by myself. It took them 2 minutes with me teaching them. But all I did was give them the actual key points of where to touch the ball, how, and have fun with it. You're gonna make mistakes. You're gonna do this. You're gonna do that. But if you want to learn anything from freestyle, enjoy the ball. Understand what to do, and watch a lot of videos, but watch right tutorials, because some people just talk about the move and they don't explain the smallest details that make it happen. And some people everyone learn different ways, but 90% of people, they're missing that small detail of the move, and it's taking them forever to do. But first of all, just have some fun with it.
And you have the key, right? So you said you went from 6 months to 2 minutes teaching someone. So where can right? Reach out to you to learn freestyling skills, or do you also do coaching as well?
I coach as well. I do private sessions soccer wise. I don't do any more than 4, because I find like it with 4 it's like semi-private. When you start doing, when I find myself start doing more, it becomes like a clinic, which is not a problem. But I like to get in more so with the players more, on a personal level. I need to know what they're about, what they want to do. When you have a group, it generalizes. You know what I'm saying? I'm giving you something that, everybody can somewhat do. You can pass the ball back and forth. You can do that. But when I get in with you, I want to know if you can dribble, if you're a trickster on the field, if you're a defender, you're a mid. I don't work with keepers, but
right.
that's what I do. Like even private session with the freestyle and stuff like that, I do that too. I'm not the greatest freestyler, you know what I'm saying? But I am a football freestyler,
Right. What's the age group of players that can reach out to you?
All ages. I have a player that's 27 that I'm working with right now.
Okay, amazing. And both boys and girls you work with?
Both boys and girls.
Absolutely. Okay. And where can they reach out to you on?
You can reach me at Tricksafa. What was my Instagram? Tricksafa ENT, right? You can reach me there. Actually, we'll put it in the thing. I just messed up myself. I don't remember what my Instagram name is.
Yeah, we'll put it in the description. We'll definitely put it in.
Because I have like 2. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm confusing myself, right? So we can put we're gonna put the follow right here. My handle from Freestyle Soccer, and it has all the info. It has my phone number. It has my email address. So everything is in my bio. You can reach me there.
Amazing. All right. So Dennis, I have 13 fun questions that I want to ask you. Is that cool?
Yeah, let's go.
All right. It's kind of like I'm not too sure what they call it, like speed questions per se.
Okay, a rapid fire.
Rapid fire. All right. So the first one is who's your favorite team? AC Milan. What about favorite player?
Huh?
Favorite player?
My favorite player? It's Messi. Well, Ronaldinho. I would say, you know what? Let's leave it at Ronaldinho. That's my favorite player.
Amazing. Favorite cleats?
Favorite cleats? I used to wear a lot of Adidas. Now I'm with Puma. But I would say right now it would be the Puma Futures.
Puma Futures.
Yeah.
And what about I had this one in there. Your favorite color of the Puma Futures? Which ones?
I have all of them.
You don't have a favorite
But
one?
my favorite would be that neon green. A neon green or yellow. I don't even know what color it is. It's a neon color. That's my favorite one so far.
Okay. What about your most memorable football moment?
My most memorable football moment was I was playing professional soccer and I got this sweet ball like swung across and I hit it over the crossbar this close. Took it on my chest. The player came. I put it over the defender's head and I side volley it. And it just went this close over the crossbar. It would have been the craziest goal I've ever scored ever.
Yeah, that would have been pretty crazy. Did you ever play soccer in the house when you were a kid?
All day, every day. My mom, my sister, everybody. Hey, you can't be playing in the house. Actually, my sister punctured my ball once. I played in the house.
I know those ones. I remember my grandmother hiding the ball from me.
You wake up and you're like, "Where's my ball?
Yeah.
You guys see my ball?"
I think I know the answer to this one, but who's better, Messi or Ronaldo?
It's hard to say which one's better because they both bring something amazing to the game. I would say Messi for me because I just love Messi's style. He's more my way of playing, and I tell young players all the time, find a player that have something that you can appreciate. Not that I don't appreciate Ronaldo. I do appreciate him. If I was to choose him or Messi, I would definitely go with Messi, but I would love to have him as well, right? But I would say Messi because he's the kind of player that, really bond with my kind of style of play.
Adidas or Puma?
I used to rock Adidas, as I said, but right now,
Puma.
Give it a cat.
The first team. What's the first team have you ever played FIFA?
FIFA, of course, man.
What's the first team you would pick on FIFA? Would be the first team.
The first team I would pick would be my second team, Liverpool, because they're a lot stronger now. So when I was much younger, so Liverpool and Milan is my two favorite teams. Are my two favorite teams. So I think it was 2002 and 3 when they met up in the finals in Champions League. I couldn't even watch the game. My hands sweating. I'm a mess. I couldn't even watch the game. I had to catch the highlights because I couldn't even choose, and I was frozen in my chair, right? So, but I would say Liverpool because Liverpool has been a stronger team. And to play FIFA, you got to come correct because these guys will wreck you.
They're serious. What's your favorite fast food place?
My favorite fast food place would be, I would say, KFC because, especially in Jamaica, woo, KFC in Jamaica, woo.
KFC over Popeyes. KFC over Popeyes.
Popeyes, I don't know. That's like my last one. I would rather go to McDonald's over Popeyes.
That's interesting. What about your favorite song?
My favorite song? Bob Marley, One Love.
One Love, yeah. Would you rather 2 goals in a game or 1 goal and assist?
1 goal and assist. Because I love sharing the glory.
Of course. And would you rather score a free kick or a PK?
I'm gonna go with a PK. I'm not a distant kind of man when it comes to that.
And last one, if you were a coach and you were able to sub in any player in history, who would it be?
Ronaldinho.
That was the last one. Dennis, is there anything that you wanted to add in or you wanted to share?
No, man. We've covered a lot. So all I can say is I appreciate you, man, and just keep doing your thing. I'm looking forward to see a lot more great and whether it's veterans in the game and some young talent, I'd love to see them on your platform talking about their little journey, and even if it's just going, I'm saying, I'd love to hear how it's going for them. So you're doing a fantastic job already. So I know you're gonna be doing great stuff in the community and around the world. So
Thank
just continue doing your thing, and thanks for having me on your show, man.
I appreciate it, Dennis. I appreciate the kind words. Dennis, I appreciate you taking the time to do the interview with me. Thank you.
One love, my guy.
One love. All right.